and gentlemen, welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. I am the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, joined once again by my faithful manservant / Bucktotem Bertrum. Say hello, Bertrum. Sorry, Bertrum, no time for that. Got a game review to do. And today we are reviewing SYNDUALITY, Echo of Ada. And no, before anyone asks, this game has absolutely nothing to do with Ada Wong, as much as I wish that it did. Frankly, I could do with a bit of Ada Wong in my life. I'm getting rather sick of seeing Bertrum coming out of the shower with absolutely nothing on. So, dear viewers, if like that beautiful bearded bastard Barry Burton, you're wondering...
What is this? What is it? What? What is this? What is it? What is it?
Then let me tell you all about this video game the only way I know how. Badly. So, SYNDUALITY, Echo of Ada is a brand new science fiction third-person shooter that comes to us from those oh-so-talented bastards at Bandai Namco Entertainment. Set in the world of Amnesia, we play as a drifter. That is a chap or chapette who makes their living by collecting a rare resource known as AO crystals. And how do they do that? I'm so glad you asked, dear viewers. They pilot something called a cradle coffin. Yes, I thought it was quite morbid as well. But basically, this is one of those mech suit vehicle thingamajigs that you use to move through the environment, collecting crystals, fighting enemies. But don't you dare worry your little underpants, dear viewers, because you won't be doing this alone. Coming with you on this little adventure will be what this game affectionately calls a magus. That is a kind of artificial intelligence, NPC / companion / big spoon. And best of all, you get to kind of, sort of, in a way, design how this magus will look. Will you have a attractive girl with you? Will you have an attractive chap with you? Will you have an amalgamation of the two? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Or we would if I was going to recommend that you play this game, but sadly, dear viewers, spoilers, I do not recommend you play SYNDUALITY, Echo of Ada, and here is why. So let's start on a little positive note and talk about the good in this game. Well, the general story is not bad. The cutscenes are very nice to look at. The few of them that we actually get. There's actual English voice acting in this game, which is remarkable, because recently I've been playing a lot of games where they haven't even bothered to put voice acting in the game, full stop, never mind English voice acting. Of course, for you anime purists out there, you can play the game with the Japanese voiceover option. I didn't do that, so I can't comment on if it's arse or not. The world in this game is quite lovely as well. It's a kind of, sort of, not really open world map that you spawn into in which to carry out your objectives. And we'll talk about what those objectives are a little bit later on. So visually, I like this game. Audibly, I like this game. Gameplay-wise, this is a pretty standard third-person shooter in which you're third-person shooting from the comfort of a mech suit. And I suppose the game does have somewhat mission variety. So, for example, you might be asked to kill X amount of enemies, or you might be asked to gather X amount of crystals, or you might be asked to find an object in this location, or you might be asked to flush the toilet X amount of times. Maybe not that last one, but you know what I'm getting at here. And well, the game does have somewhat a mission variety that leads me rather nicely to talk about the birds in this game. So, speaking of that mission variety, well, there is a couple of varied options like kill X amount of enemies over here, or gather this over there, or do that over here. Then truffle shuffle over there, then do a handstand while standing on his face here. Most of these objectives, sadly, are rather boring. And you're probably wondering, OCG, you talented bastard, you, why are you not talking about the story campaign? That's for very good reason, dear viewers, because while this game does have a story campaign, if we can call it that, this game is first and foremost an online PvPvE. Is that right? PvPvE. What, you know what I'm talking about. One of those bloody online games where you can team up with other players or fight against other players and steal their resources and all of that mischievous nonsense. And in fact, just to get the pleasure of even playing the quote-unquote story campaign, you have to play hours and hours and hours of the online nonsense before you even get the chance to do the story campaign. It unlocks at some point. I assume it's after completing X amount of objectives. So if you're getting this game like I did, just for the story, maybe hold off, because while I did enjoy the story cutscenes and playing through the missions without having to worry about getting invaded by some dickhead online or losing my... Oh, that's right, one thing I didn't mention yet, which I can mention now. When you play the online mode, when you go into the map, if you happen to get killed, you will lose everything that you're carrying, be it the consumables you're carrying, the collectibles you found, the crystals, the weapons you have equipped, the armor you have equipped, the bloody legs you have equipped. Now, there is a function in this game in which you can, quote-unquote, insure certain items, but that will cost in-game currency. So the only thing I can really compare this to is Dark Souls, where basically if you die in a mission, the game is going to punch the shit out of you. Punish the shit out of you. And frankly, only being in this for the anime story campaign hijinks, I wasn't very impressed having to play an online mode for 8+ hours, doing random collectathons and killing X amount of enemies and dying and then having to find more currency to buy the same bloody weapon I just had equipped 2 seconds ago before I died. It is infuriating. Now, granted, I probably haven't seen everything that this online mode has to cover, but I've seen quite enough to make my judgment. And, listen to this part. The story campaign isn't even finished. That's right, they're going to add the other half later on. I assume completely free of charge, but still, that is incredibly annoying. Do you think that once I have reviewed this game and uninstalled it from my console, that I'm going to remember to reinstall the bloody thing 3 months or 6 months down the line when you drop the rest of the campaign? Hell, most of the time I don't even remember to go to the fucking toilet. Oh, That's why my trousers are so damp. So do I recommend you play this game? Absolutely not. Go and spend your money on something else like, cough syrup. Or, no, don't buy that. That could be quite bad if you drink a lot of that. Instead buy cans of monster. No, don't buy that either. That's bad for you as well. I don't know. Buy a freshly dug grave for a relative you don't like. There, do that instead of buying this. Therefore, I declare that Synduality Echo of Ada is garbage. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, my totally not improvised review for Synduality Echo of Ada. If you enjoyed this little review of mine, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well then feel free to give me a thumbs down. But please remember the single most important thing I always tell you, dear viewer, and that is to always stay obsessed with gaming. Say goodbye, Bertram. Sorry, Bertram, no time for that right now. Have to stop the video. Gone on long enough. You can say goodbye next time. Maybe. Probably not, though. Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.